Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we will learn how to plot histograms in Seaborn. First of all, what we do is we import Seaborn as SNS, pandas and matplotlib. So first of all what we do is we import all these libraries, and then just to get an idea of the available datasets that are pre-built in the Seaborn, we use the function called get underscore dataset underscore names. So this will actually give us a number of datasets that are already built in and are available in Seaborn. So we will use the tips dataset in this video, and let's load this tips dataset. So we will use the function ssns dot load underscore dataset. So this is basically a dataset of a restaurant in which there is a column of total bill and the tip given by people, and what was the gender of the people, and what is smoker or non-smoker, and what day was it, which day of the week did the purchase happen, and what was the time, what is dinner, supper or breakfast, or what was the size of the people which got served. And so this actually gives us a basic idea of our data frame. And then just to create a histogram of our dataset, we will use sns.histplot. Histplot is used to create a data frame, and this don't forget to call our data frame. We stored our data frame in a variable called df. You can see we stored our data frame in a variable called df. In Seaborn, with every graph you make, you will have to call this data frame. Just Otherwise it just won't work. So if we create a histogram, so this actually shows us a histogram based on the total bill. What was our total bill? What was the total bill of people? Uh, so uh, let's use the discrete attribute. What does this discrete attribute do is it will show us the null values. And to implement the discrete attribute, what we do is we input the discrete is equal to, and in the strings we call false. So that is so this actually shows us, as compared to the above graph, this actually shows us the null values. Like there are these null values, there are these null values, and there are these null values. All of these null values are shown in when we use the attribute or discrete. So the next attribute is hue. So what does hue does is hue does us that we want to separate our dataset on basis of which column. So here what do we want to separate the bill based on what gender people are. So this will actually create a hist plot, and in that hist plot there is a legend in which it says male and female, and it shows us the total bills paid by males and females. So it is hue is basically used for data separation. And next comes palette. So what is a palette? Palette is basically the design of our graph, like how will our graph look. So there are lots of pretty built-in palettes inside of Seaborn, like rocket, flare, Mako, spring, and this actually help in the beauty of the graph. So we will first use Mako, and you will see how the graph gets customized. And this is our graph, and it makes the graph pretty sophisticated in look. So now let's use spring. So when we use spring, let me just use this spring. So this will make our graph look pink and peachish in color. And let's use the rocket. Let's use the rocket palette, and let's see what happens. Uh, so this will actually customize our graph. Similarly, we can use different kinds of palettes to actually customize our graph, and it helps us in the beauty of our graph. And next comes KDE. So what is a KDE? KDE stands for kernel density estimation. And what it is basically a curve that that touches the maximum points of our graph, and it makes a curve around our graph. So just to plot a kernel density estimation curve on our histogram, what we will do is we will call our histogram function, and inside whatever we want, as we will type as above, and then just to plot the KDE, we will use KDE is equal to true. So this will create a curve around the top values of around the maximum values of our data. And we also use the attribute hue, so it has it has distributed between male and female. So similarly, we can give the edge color to that data. So what is the edge color? Edge color is basically the color on the edges of our graph. Like you will see that I have given edge color as red, and it will actually give the color to edges that will look pretty decent. And if we just change the edge color, let's make the edge color to, let's say, blue. So it will change the edge color to blue, and this makes our graph look aesthetically beautiful. So the next attribute is line style, and how we want our line to look. And I have used the attribute line style is equal to dashed. So what is dashed? It will make our graph dashed, so the lines will appear as dashes, and this it is. So the our graph is actually appears in dashes. So this actually makes us give a better representation of our data. And the last part is how can we change the color of our data frame. So I have loaded my histogram here. So on x-axis I want total bill, and don't forget to call df, and then I want the color of my graph to be red, so it will uh, change the color of my graph to red. So this is our graph and it's red. Let's change the color to, let's say the color is green. So it will change the color of our uh, graph to green. So that was it from this video. So what do we learn from this video? We actually plotted a histogram, a simple histogram, and then we learned to load the dataset. Then we created a histogram, and then we checked how to get null values inside our histogram, and then we used different attributes like hue, style, line style, palette, and then we carved a KDE on our histogram, and edge colors, and we learned how to change colors of our histogram. So that was it from this video. Hope so you like it. Peace out.